Nobusuma. Translation: Wild Quilt. Habitat: forests and mountains. Diet: primarily blood, also fire, nuts, fruit, and berries. Appearance: a bat which lives to a very old age, develops magical powers, and changes into a yokai known as a Nobusuma. They look almost identical to a musasabi, or Japanese giant flying squirrel, although they are much more dangerous. Behavior: Nobusuma eats nuts, fruits, and berries, but also feed on fire, and by sucking blood from humans and small animals, such as cats. They attack travelers walking the roads at night. They swoop down from the trees onto the faces of their unsuspecting victims, latch on, and begin sucking blood. When they do not need to feed, they simply swoop down and blow out lanterns and torches, flying back up into the night sky with a creepy cry that goes "Gah! Gah!" Origin: while Nobusuma are born from long-lived bats, the transformation does not stop there. Once a Nobusuma reaches a very old age, it transforms again, either into a Yamachichi or a Mamon G.
Huayra. Translation: a regional corruption of kawaii, meaning scary. Habitat: forests, mountains, shrines, and temples. Diet: small animals and wicked people. Appearance: the Huayra is a rare and reclusive yokai, few of which have ever been encountered. It is an ugly beast with a body similar to that of a cow, but with a large, single, sharp claw on each one of its 4 long limbs. According to the accounts that exist, male Huayra are modeled in earthy brown colors while females are colored red. Behavior: Huayra live deep in the mountains, near heavily wooded temples and shrines. They are found near Otoroshi and are believed to guard temples and shrines from wicked people. They also use their tough claws to dig up and catch the small animals that they feed upon, such as moles, mice, and rabbits. Origin: from the colorings and environments where they are found, it is believed that Huayra are transformed yokai, born from the common toad after it reaches an advanced age. It is also speculated that the Huayra is somehow related to the Otoroshi, and they share the same habitat and are often seen together. The Huayra's name, as with the Otoroshis, is a subject of some confusion. As these yokai's names are not written using kanji, they contain few clues to their origins. The most commonly accepted theory is that it is a corruption of the variant of the word kawaii, meaning scary. This further supports a speculation that the Huayra and the Otoroshi may be somehow related.
Mamon G. Translation: 100, i.e. really old, geezer. Habitat: dark roads and mountain passes. Diet: unknown. Appearance: a Mamon G is born from a long-lived Nobusuma, a yokai which was originally born from a long-lived bat. It is a mysterious yokai which takes the form of a hairy, bestial old man who wanders the wilds and assaults passerbys, particularly crying or misbehaving children. Mamon G appear late at night on the road when the wind blows strongly, and those who meet them suddenly become very sick. Origin: the name Mamon G was created by a very complicated combination of Japanese puns and wordplay. It is formed from the words mamonga and gagoji. Mamonga is the Japanese word for a small flying squirrel, but long ago the mamonga and musasabi, the Japanese giant flying squirrel, were thought to be the same animal, so their names were used interchangeably. The yokai Nobusuma, from which the Mamon G are created, very closely resembles a musasabi, and so the interchangeable name Mamonga was often used to refer to the Nobusuma. Gagoji is a regional word that refers to a boogeyman-like monster who assaults children. The word comes from the legend of Gheh Guzzi, the demon of Mamon G, being a regional variation of the demon's name. Thus, Mamon G and Gheh Guzzi were combined to form Mamon G, referring to a scary, child-assaulting monster, which is related to the Nobusuma. During the Edo period, there was a strict prohibition on eating meat from certain animals, such as deer and boar. These forbidden animals were collectively referred to as Mamon G. To get around this prohibition, shops began selling animal meat as medicine instead of food. These medicine shops were called Mamon G ya. The meat sold there was believed to ward off disease. The fact that this yokai resembles a wild animal and also brings disease is an ironic reference to Mamon G and Mamon G ya. The medicine sold at Mamon G ya was given nicknames in order to disguise its true contents. For instance, deer meat was called momiji, or maple leaves, and boar meat was referred to as botan, or peony. This secret imagery persists in things like Hanafuda playing cards, where deer and maple leaves, and boar and peonies are depicted together. When Toriyama Sekien, who was very aware of the imagery in Hanafuda cards, first illustrated the Mamon G, he drew him hiding in a pile of maple leaves, creating yet another connection between this yokai and the prohibition of animal meat.
Cheetah. Translation: Red Tongue. Alternate names: Gheh Guzzi. Habitat: rice fields and farming villages commonly found in Tsugaru. Diet: farmers. Appearance: Gheh Cheetah is a mysterious spirit which takes the form of a dark cloud with sharp claws and a hairy bestial face. Its most prominent feature and namesake is the long, bright red tongue that lolls from its mouth. Only the shape of its hairy, monstrous face and long bestial claws are shown. The rest of its body is perpetually hidden inside of the dark, black clouds in which it lives. Behavior: the Gheh Cheetah appears during the summer months, when rain and water are at their highest demand to ensure a successful growing season. They are agents of retribution, primarily known as punishers in water disputes. Because plenty of water is essential for keeping rice paddies flooded, Japan's farmlands are interlaced with an intricate series of interconnected aqueducts and canals meant to deliver water to all the farmers equally. In times of drought, however, a wicked farmer may open up the sluice gates and drain his neighbor's water into his own field. Such a serious crime can cost a family its livelihood, and water bandits face the violent wrath of their neighbors. Some clever water thieves are never caught, and may think they've gotten away with their crime. But then, the Gheh Cheetah appears, and drains the water from the water thieves' fields, and snatches them up with its long red tongue.
Gheh Guzzi. Translation: none. Named for the temple which he haunted. Diet: children. Appearance: Gheh Guzzi is a Reiki, or demon ghost, who haunted the temple Gangoji many centuries ago. He appears as a hideous demon, dressed in monk's robes, crawling around on all fours. His legend is preserved at Gangoji, which was founded in 593 by Soga no Umako. Legends. Long ago in Owari province, during the time of Emperor Bidatsu, a thunder god fell out of the sky in a bolt of lightning. A peasant investigated the spot where the bolt struck and discovered the thunder god in the form of a young boy. The peasant raised his cane with the intention to kill the creature, but the god pleaded to spare his life. The thunder god promised to give the peasant and his wife a young boy as strong as a god if the peasant would help him. The peasant agreed and helped the thunder god to build a boat which allowed him to return to heaven. Shortly after, the peasant and his wife had a child. Just as promised, the child was as strong as a thunder god. As the boy grew, he became renowned far and wide for his superhuman strength. By the time he turned 10, he had grown so powerful and boastful that he challenged a prince to a contest of strength, and won. This attracted attention of the imperial court, and the boy was apprenticed to Gheh. Shortly after he joined Gheh, the temple's young apprentices began dying strange deaths, one by one. Every morning, the fresh corpse of one of the boys would be found by the temple's bell tower. The monks decided that an evil spirit was infiltrating the temple at night and committing the murders. The peasant's son resolved to solve the mystery. He volunteered to catch whatever was killing the boys. That night, the boy placed covered lanterns in the four corners of the bell tower. He instructed an older monk to wait by the lanterns and uncover them once he grabbed the evil spirit. The boy waited by the bell tower. At midnight, a hunched creature came crawling toward the tower. It saw the boy, however, and ran away. A few hours later, hunger got the better of the creature and it slinked back. The boy sprang and caught it by the hair, but the monk was too scared to uncover the lanterns. Summoning his superhuman strength, the boy dragged the creature to each corner of the tower and uncovered the lights. In the lamplight, he could see that the creature was a Reiki, the ghost of an Oni. The Reiki pulled back so hard that it ripped off its own scalp. Once free, it scampered away into the darkness, leaving its hair in the boy's hand. When morning came, the priests followed the bloody trail left by the creature. They found the grave of a lazy, wicked servant formerly employed by the temple. The servant's spirit had transformed into the demon ghost that was responsible for the murders. After that, the Reiki never returned to the temple again. The monster's scalp became one of the holy treasures of Gheh. The boy became famous far and wide. He used his superhuman strength to irrigate the temple's fields, and eventually took the name Dojo and became a splendid priest. After he died, he was enshrined as one of the gods of Gheh.
Omakure. Translation: giant centipede. Habitat: mountains and caves, any dark and humid place big enough to hold it. Diet: carnivorous. Critical weakness: human saliva. Appearance: Omakure are monstrous mukare centipedes with dark bodies and bright orange legs and heads. They are often depicted with dragon-like features. While their non-monstrous cousins can grow up to 20 centimeters in length, the upper size limit on Yokai Makure is not known. Behavior: like their smaller relatives, Omakure are vicious and highly aggressive. The bite of a regular Makure is venomous and very painful, but rarely fatal. Omakure, on the other hand, are much more venomous and very strong. They have even been known to torment dragons. And Omakure's exoskeleton is so tough that it can't be pierced by weapons. They do have one weakness though: human saliva is toxic to them. A weapon coated in saliva may be able to pierce through its armor and wound it. Interactions: Omakure are extremely rare. When they are seen, they pose a threat to all in the area. Throughout history, the responsibility of exterminating these monsters has fallen on the shoulders of brave heroes. Legends: there is a famous bridge in Shiga Prefecture known as Seta no Karahashi. Long ago, a great serpent appeared on the bridge and would not move. The villagers were too afraid to approach the serpent, and so they could not cross. One day, the brave warrior, Fujiwara no Hideseto, came to the bridge. He was not afraid of the serpent, and he crossed the bridge, crunching its great body under his feet. The serpent slithered back into the lake, and the bridge was clear again. That night, a beautiful woman visited Hidesato. She introduced herself as the daughter of the Dragon King, Like Biwa. The Dragon King had sent her to Hidesato to ask for his help. Her family is being tormented by an Omakure who lived on Mount Mikami. She knew that Hidesato must be a great warrior because he had so fearlessly trampled her body. Hidesato agreed to help the Dragon King. He took up his sword and his bow and headed to the mountains. Upon reaching Mount Mikami, Hidesato saw an enormous centipede coiled around its top. It was so long that its body wrapped around the mountain 7.5 times. He fired his arrows at it until only one arrow remained, but he was unable to pierce the beast's armor. Hidesato coated the tip of the arrow in his saliva and said a prayer to Hachiman, the god of warriors. This time his arrow struck true, and he brought down the Omikata. The Dragon King's daughter was so grateful to Fujiwara no Hidesato that she gave him marvelous gifts, a bag of rice which never became empty no matter how much rice was taken from it, a roll of silk which never ran out no matter how much was cut from it, a cooking pot which always produced the most delicious food without the need for fire, and a large temple bell which Hidesato donated to Midara. The grateful Dragon King also told Hidesato the secret to defeating Taira no Masakado, the rebel whom Hidesato had been charged with bringing down.